guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Mandy, the Handmade Homeschooler, and today I'm giving you guys the updates you have been begging me for. So typically before I like to give a really good thumbs up review on something, I like to use it for a while first. And I finally feel like I'm in a good place because it's the halfway point of the year right now, where I can give you guys more of a in-depth review of the new curriculum that we have been using this year. So for those of you who may have missed my curriculum review videos, like the big reveal videos where I show you what I'm going to be using that following year for each kid, and I'll link those down below if you want to see. I have a brand new company that I started using this year called Generations, and I really knew nothing about them. They're kind of new in the homeschool curriculum world, and I really wanted to give them a try. I have a friend who uses them, and she highly recommended them. I trust her completely, so I said, all right, I'm gonna try it. So I jumped in like head first in the deep end, and I am so glad that I did because I really have enjoyed them, and more importantly, my kids have really enjoyed it. And we just finished our midterms for both of the kids. So I have one in 6th grade and I have one in 10th grade. And so my youngest is using their middle school curriculum and my oldest is using their high school curriculum. So for my 6th grader's history class, he had a midterm report and he wanted to do the trifold board. And his project is so cool. I'm so proud of him, and he did such a good job on this. I'm gonna show you guys what this project board looks like, and so you can kind of see some of the things that they'll be doing in these classes. So for the main subjects, we've got Bible, we have history, we have electives, we have literature. There's all kinds of really cool things in here. My oldest is even doing some of their elective courses. He's knocking out a bunch of high school classes with Generations. And one of the things that I really liked about them was, especially when things started to kind of get a little dicey with the economy, Generations is really good for the wallet. I have noticed that, and here's the best thing about it. With Generations, you get so much more than you actually pay for. I have found a lot of times when a curriculum is cheap in the price, I sacrifice the quality, and I hate that. So I was really leery just because of the price. I was like, ooh, is this gonna be a good idea? You know, I mean, that's some of the cheapest curriculum I've ever seen. What kind of quality am I gonna be looking at? But when the books arrived, I honestly was blown away at the quality of not just the textbooks, but of the thought that really went into the planning and putting together of the lessons. So some of the things that we really love about this curriculum, the simplicity is one of the first things I want to really go over. This curriculum is simple, but rich. So while you're not getting a ton of books, kind of like a Becca, you would get, you know, 4 different test booklets and 4 different workbook booklets, and then you would get the textbook, and you don't have that with this. You get your textbook and you get the workbook, which also typically serves as the teacher book and the answer book and the test book and everything kind of all in one. So you have this like really nice simplicity going on, so you don't have to buy all of these other materials. You can buy like one book and then as many workbooks as you need for your students. And as I've said in other videos, this curriculum is absolutely biblically solid, and you know, my husband and I were theology nerds, and we take this very seriously, especially with Bible curriculum, and it's by far the most accurate and theologically rich curriculum that we have ever seen since we started homeschooling 7 years ago. Depending on the age of your child, this curriculum is also very short. You don't have to spend a whole lot of time, but that time that they do spend is very concentrated on whatever subject that they're learning. So while I love that my kids are not spending 3 hours on a subject, I feel like they are getting such a good education during that time that we spend together on that subject. They also have optional enrichment projects for history, which I love because I have a kid who loves hands-on work, and so you kind of get this really good trade-off between workbook and hands-on activities, even for subjects like history. So there's projects involved with these, and like I know for my 6th grader's history curriculum, which he uses Taking Europe for Jesus, every single week he can choose between 3 and 5 different like hands-on activity projects that he can do during the week or on the optional flex days of Friday. So it doesn't feel like he's just doing bookwork. He's actually doing something that he really likes because he's a really creative kid. So I like Generations so much that I actually ordered next year's curriculum already, which is already up on my channel if you want to go and check that out. I know I'm ordering way far ahead, but Generations has these sales that they do every now and then, and they had like a 50% off curriculum sale going on, and I was like, oh, I'm so getting in on that. So I went ahead and ordered next year's curriculum because I have so much confidence in the one that we're using now that my kids like it so much. They were like, yeah, we want to stick with Generations. So I went ahead and ordered all of next year's, and I ended up getting, I think, the 7th grade and the 11th grade bundle for both kids, and so far they really have enjoyed looking through the books, and they kind of, you know, get a little preview of what they're going to do next year. So far, I really like everything. I did an unboxing if you guys want to go check those out and see what we ordered for next year. Generations also has a lot of great books on their website that you can get for a really great price, especially when they have sales going on. So like right now, my youngest is reading Adventures of Missionary Heroism book, and he's reading this along with his Bible curriculum. These are like short 5-10 minute reads that he's been doing once a day. And my oldest, he's reading Disciplines of a Godly Man. And this is a really great one. They have one for women and one for men, and highly, highly recommend for teenagers if you have teenagers in the house. So let's check out this history project that my youngest did. He absolutely loved this project. He worked his little tail off and he created this amazing trifold board. So this project was actually the midterm grade project. So he got a big grade for this, and he also did a 10-minute presentation. It was supposed to be 10 minutes, and he ended up actually going over and going 14 minutes, which was fine because he had a 15-minute max. My husband and I were both really, really impressed with his presentation and with his project, and he really knew what he was talking about. He wasn't just reading from his board. He was actually like presenting to us and almost like making a speech. So we could tell that he not only knew his topic, but he was really into it, and he did a lot of research. He enjoyed it so much that he wants to do them for other classes, which I found just absolutely hilarious, but he really enjoyed that. And that project board goes with this curriculum, the Taking Europe for Jesus. Now the Taking Country for Jesus is an actual series of books for middle school, I believe, like upper elementary and middle school. And this was the one that was recommended for 6th grade, so we just jumped in here for grade 6. So basically, would I recommend Generations? 100 times yes. I think they are probably one of the best ones out there and most underrated and not well-known companies. They're like one of the hidden gems in the homeschool world, which is why I like to do videos on them, because nobody really knows about them. And I think it's really good to get the word out about solid companies, because there are so many there's so many bad resources out there, and it's so easy to waste your money on curriculum that you either just shelve for the rest of your life or that your kids hate. And this is one of those that I feel like you can get at such a good price that even if your kids hate it, you can resell it and you're not out. Now, something like a Becca, you're gonna spend $1,000 and you might not get that back. So it's one of those things that I think is worth the try, especially for Christian families. You will not be disappointed. This is such a good curriculum. And they have sales going on all the time. Now, I did decide to partner with them not for this video or anything, but I am an actual Generations partner. So when you're on my email list or you're in my group and things like that, I can tell you when the sales are so you can go and get them on sale. And that's been one of the easiest ways for me to deliver curriculum to you when it's at its lowest price. So basically, super happy with Generations. We're gonna use them next year. I am probably going to be stalking their website to see if they get new things in over the next couple of months before we launch into summer and everything. Because if they do get new stuff, I'm probably gonna buy it for next year too. Their books though, they have some of the greatest books if you need readers and things like that. They have really great ones there, and they're always having some kind of sale going on. Like, they already have really low prices and then they put them on sale, and I mean, you can get a whole grade, at least the big 4 subjects, for a really good price. I've been very impressed with it. And the quality of the books, you guys will not be disappointed in the quality of the books. I show some of the books in my older videos. Quality of these textbooks are just impeccable. Now, not all of the books are alike. And I do want to make that point. Not all of the textbooks are all alike. So like the American history textbook that my son uses, the photography in there is beautiful. All the pictures are in color. Same thing for this book here. Beautiful, beautiful pictures. Now, some of the books, like the 7th grade books that he's going to use, is not. It's a black and white book. That's totally okay though, because for me, it's more about the content than the imagery and the pictures and the book itself. I'm more interested about the curriculum in the book. That's number 1 for me, and of course the theology in the book. As long as those two things hit the mark, everything else is gravy. But for those of you who do really like pretty books, they have some really, really pretty books that I will probably keep on my shelves long after my children are gone and I start having grandchildren who may need homeschooling books too. All right, I'm gonna end it here for today. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I hope that you guys have a great rest of your day and happy homeschooling.